year ago that I began challenging myself and thinking, wow, I haven't been educating myself. I've been absolutely been educating my children, and I'm learning history and nature and so many different things. The timeline, I'm reading amazing literature with them, but I wanted something that would edify me as a creator, as a writer, as a reader. And I wanted something that would be kind of simple, but also really open and go and creative. So I took a look at a couple different programs, and I found The Good and the Beautiful. So this program was not made for adults. This is actually their high school 1 program, and they're going to have 1. They already came out with 2, and then 3 is coming shortly, I believe. I actually also got 2 because I love this so much. So this is a high school program. And I actually have a master's in education, but I can tell you that going through this program, and I'm going to share all about it. It has just opened my eyes to beautiful literature. It's helping me learn more vocab, more grammar. It's sharing so many wonderful things for me personally. And I don't have a timeline. So I am going very, very slow. I'm also not doing everything these booklets suggest because I'm a busy mom, and my goal here was to read good literature and to learn a bit more of vocabulary, learn a bit more about sentence diagramming. But I have been blown away, and I'm learning much more than I ever thought possible. So their program is very unique. So The Good and the Beautiful, they also add art and geography to their program for all their language arts. So that's a really unique part of the program. And again, I love it because I'm being exposed to Dutch artists and learning about the geography of different places that I'm not familiar with. So it has been really edifying, and I thought you may be interested too. It's a very low cost, beautiful books. So I'm going to share up close what it is, and hopefully you enjoy. For the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts High School 1, this is what you will get. You will get 12 beautiful color booklets, some cards. I think these are called memorization cards, and then your grammar and writing guide. You just need one of these, and you just need one set of these, I believe, for all the years, year 1, 2, and 3. And then you get your books. So this is what's included. So let's look at this beautiful booklet. And the first booklet is going to have some course instruction here. Now, of course, I'm not grading myself, but if you were grading a child, you would perhaps do this. And again, I'm not doing the writing. And a lot of this, some of it is spelling that I don't necessarily need practice in, but it's great to know that it's there in case you need practice or your child. Again, I am reading this from an adult perspective, and the first book for this program was Just David. So you get these beautiful books from their library, and this book, Just David, was just gorgeous. This is by Eleanor Porter, who wrote Pollyanna, and it's just such a beautiful book. I let my mom borrow this after I read it just because it was so just lovely. The writing is so beautiful. I just loved it. So you're going to learn about her, and then you're also going to learn about New England. So here is some of the vocabulary, and I'm learning some of these words that I didn't necessarily know. Doing some practice, parts of speech. You're also going to be learning about a poet. So here's Ralph Waldo Emerson. You're going to look at some of his poems, and included in some of this, you get to see videos on their site. And they have those available, which is fabulous. And you're going to do some... I am one of those dorky people who loves grammar and and practicing grammar, so this has just been perfect for me. And again, so here's some tracing that your child would do. I have not done the tracing, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate looking at the maps of where Just David was, where that book was based in. And so here, this book has photographs of New England and enjoying the beautiful art, leaves and everything that's there. So speaking of leaves, at the very end, they also have an art project, and this is optional, but here you're learning about shading. So that's just one book. I'm going to go through the next one here quickly for you so you can see. So for this book, you're going to learn about the artist Durand, and you're going to see his beautiful art. So there he is now. You're learning about him and his work, and you're just seeing this beautiful art, and you're just blown away. And then you find out about the Hudson River and the Hudson group of artists and things that I just, I never knew. So it's just very, very fun. And again, I'm doing this on my own time, and I'm learning these things just because I want to learn them. And it's just been really fun. So here's another artist here, an African-American artist during the Civil War that I never knew about if it wasn't for the good and the beautiful. So this has just been fabulous. I've been writing a lot. I've been learning so much. And just the books that they recommend have just been amazing and wonderful. So there's the art project. And then book 4. So you're learning, here is Norway, and you're gonna learn about really picking apart and learning Emily Dickinson's poems. So for each, you're gonna learn about the author of the book you're reading, and then you're gonna slowly learn poets. This does focus a bit on writing too, so I don't want to discount that. I just have not been doing the writing as much. I more wanted to just have this beautiful exposure. It's so beautiful, and I just love it for myself. And there's a watercolor option. So I'm just gonna go through each of these because they're so, so nice. So let's look at the reading here. You're also, while you're doing this, so I don't wanna forget, while you're doing some of the diagramming and learning grammar, it directs you to a page in the grammar guide where you're gonna have examples and you're gonna learn, there's some sentence diagramming right there. So you are gonna be going through this one as well. Just wonderful. And then these cards. So it suggests that you spend time on your poetry memorization and time on your geography cards. So here I have, I've learned where are all these countries. I know them now versus before I might not have. And then they're labeled. There they are. And you're going to learn Western Europe, and then there they are. And you quiz yourself. So you have poetry, you have geography, and then you also have your Greek and Latin roots for level 1 and level 2. I've been going through both of these and just trying to remember them. This is so important for writing and for just life in general. So these cards are great. And once you've memorized a poem, you can move on. And I think that's on your own, but if you were working with a student, you would be guiding them a little bit better than maybe I'm guiding myself. But this vocab too is just wonderful. And I'm learning about, these Nordic countries, and learning about Greenland and Iceland, and learning about romanticism and neo-romanticism. It's so beautiful. Just look at that art. I love it. I love being able to grab this rather than, I've always been a reader, but sometimes you tend to jump onto social media, and this has really helped me to want to learn something for myself. So unit 6. So for these units now, you're going on to a new book as well. So I've kind of ignored the reason it went through some of the Nordic countries and Iceland and Greenland is because Into the Unknown is by 3 different authors, but it goes through 3 different Arctic explorers, and it's just wonderful to learn about them. Last of whom is an African-American. Wonderful book, and I've just been challenged to read it. It was challenging reading, but I'm so proud of myself that I've been reading it. Also, in addition to these books that are included, they also suggest you read at least 2 others by authors, and they have a list. I read Prudence Crandall, which I've, again, let my mom borrow, and now my grandmother's reading it because it was so amazing, and I highly recommend that one. But here we are on Booker T. Washington, and I got to read his book, Up From Slavery. Amazing book, and there's some little bookmarks there. But just a wonderful way to learn about the authors once again. Learn reading the primary text that sometimes our schools now do not have our children reading primary text. This is so important for learning history. So really, really lovely. So unit 7, you're going to learn a bit about Palestine and Syria, and while you're doing that, you're going to learn about John Greenleaf Whittier, which is also just an amazing book about an amazing man and his life's work to help freed slaves and to really help lead the abolition movement. He was such an amazing leader, and you're just going to learn so many great things. So Palestine seems a little bit random, but I still loved it because he wrote a poem about it, and I love how they're incorporating that. So I'm actually in Unit 8 right now. Okay, so there's the Middle East geography. So this is what I'm on right now. So it's just exciting. I have 3 more to go, and I'm going to be able to watch the videos about Whittier's Greenleaf's amazing poems and be able to parse them through and learn things that I didn't know about poetry. It's really phenomenal, and I really can't recommend it more highly. So here the art project is drawing somebody's face. That's neat. Let's look at Unit 9. I like to sneak and see what I'm going to learn. So you're Elizabeth Yates. Elizabeth Yates also wrote Prudence Crandall, so that was the connection there. And Prudence Crandall was also another huge supporter of the abolition movement, and she was just amazing. I love everything Elizabeth Yates writes, but here I'm going to learn about her, and then you're going to learn about another poet, Robert Frost. So you're getting this familiarity with poets, and then you're learning here. Okay, so you're going to learn more about the Middle East and some more beautiful artwork there. And lastly, Unit 10. So let's take a look. What am I going to learn in Unit 10? Okay, so here, looking ahead, you can do the review with the vocab, which is fabulous because I have been quizzing myself, and sometimes I just, I don't do as well as you'd think you could do as an adult with a high school program. But here's learning your essays. So it does, for each essay, I probably didn't show this before, but you do have a rubric for how to grade your child and help support them in improving. So now on more Robert Frost. Here, okay, you're gonna look at more pictures of the Middle East. Just absolutely beautiful. And once you're done, so I like to put in the front of each book, they don't have this, but I like to do this. I like to just put what did I learn about? Middle East, Palestine, John Greenleaf Whittier. And then Unit 6, what did I learn? Booker T. Washington, Emily Dickinson, Southern U.S., and then Nikolai Astrup, a Norwegian artist. And you're just learning all of these amazing things. So Nordic countries, Emily Dickinson, and then you're learning about Romanticism and start of Nikolai Astrup. So really you're getting so much familiarity, and it's just been a really, really educational and edifying for me. So just to reiterate, I love this program. It gives me so much joy to sit down and work on these workbooks, to read this amazing literature that, yes, some of it's been written for children, but certainly not Into the Unknown or Up from Slavery. These are real biographies of these amazing explorers, and some of it, so they do say, okay, this is appropriate for a 9th grader. You wouldn't want to read this aloud to your 1st or 2nd grader because, I mean, they're Arctic explorers. Their toes fall off. And then Up from Slavery, of course, I mean, you're hearing about some very real things that everyone needs to read. Up from Slavery by Booker T. Washington. So I am very excited to continue on with level 1. I already told you I bought level 2. I'll definitely do another video on that one too because I love these, and I would just encourage you moms, if you're thinking, wow, I want to educate myself a bit, this is just all packaged. You can choose what you want, but it's right there for you, and you can see the beauty of art and learn about geography. You can read some beautiful books. It's been just a really, really fun ride for me personally to have something, because we can always pick up a book, but to have it already there, some of the correlations to that geography and the art, and learning that vocab that's going to appear in your reading, it's just been a really, really fun thing. So hopefully that's given you some ideas for yourself or for your high schooler, but hopefully that's been helpful.